The Electoral College, electing the president, was a compromise in the Constitutional Convention. There was the choice of direct election or indirect, and the Electoral College was one of the compromises that came in here. So the original method, the person with the number one electoral votes was the president. The second place was the vice president. There were no political parties involved in the beginning. The Founding Fathers did not like political parties, didn't even think they would be there. So this lasted for a couple of elections, and then eventually they decided that there were political parties and they had to amend the Constitution. The states choose the electors. The number of electors is equal to the number of senators, which every state has two, plus the number of representatives. So the smallest number of representatives could be one, because each state might only have a small amount of population, all the way up to large numbers. So it's the number of senators plus the number of representatives equals the total for that state. The minimum number of electors for each state is 3, and so we have some for like Wyoming, Montana, Delaware, Alaska. They have 3 each, so they've got 2 senators, 1 House of Representatives. That's their 3. The 23rd Amendment in the 1960s allows for 3 electors for Washington, D.C. It's still not a state, but they gave the right to vote to the people in Washington, D.C. Nobody in our territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, American Virgin Islands are allowed basically to vote for president. They don't have any electors, so they don't count in the election. The winner today, it needs 270 electoral votes to win the election, and how you get that is 535 total electors. That includes Washington, D.C. You divide that by 2, and then you add 1, so it's basically just a majority there. It's 270. If a person wins, or a candidate wins, the popular state vote election, whether it's 50.1 or 65 or 75, the candidate gets all of the electoral votes. This is a winner-take-all system in 48 of the states. 2 states, Maine and Nebraska, use congressional districting for the Electoral College. That's very different, but the states can decide what they want to do, and some states are making their recommendation to go to congressional districts and change them. My feeling is basically if states start to change and we have half winner take all and half congressional district, it's really for political purposes, and it really should be uniform throughout the country. The electors do not have to vote for the popular vote winner. They can vote for whoever they want to, and some have voted for people that are not even on the ballot. It is totally possible to win the popular vote but lose the election in the Electoral College. The last time that happened was in 2000 with Al Gore winning the popular vote but George Bush winning the Electoral College, that's the presidency. And then in the 1800s it happened like 3 other times. Electors are chosen by each political party, but state legislatures determine the state process, the restrictions, and the rules. The electors meet in each state capital on the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December. The votes are then, after they're cast, the votes are then sent to Congress. In a joint session of Congress on the 6th of January, the votes are tallied, and then they determine who actually got the most number of votes for the President of the United States. And that is the Electoral College. There are some ways to actually improve the Electoral College. One is to do the congressional district. One is do proportional instead of winner take all. That would mean if you win 60% of the vote, you get 60% of that state's electoral vote, college votes. If you get 40% of the popular vote, you get 40% of the electoral votes. Other people say, let's just get rid of the Electoral College and just go to direct voting. So there's some ideas to make it better, and there's some people that want to keep it the way it is. My father-in-law and some others want to keep the Electoral College because they think it actually helps the small states and gives them more power. It does give them more weight than others, takes it away from some of the larger states. And we really don't see presidential candidates going to large states or small states. They actually only go and only care about the swing states, the Florida, the Ohio, Wisconsin, Virginia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. They get all the brunt of the ads and all of the brunt of the presidential visits. The Electoral College is truly an American invention. It's been with our country since 1787, and it's the way that we elect our president. We do not elect our president directly. It's through the Electoral College. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in class or post after the video.